Can you hear me?
Yo,
Hey, I can't see you. There we
how's
go.
that?
What's up? Look at that beard. Look
What's
at
up,
you.
man? How's it going?
Hey, man. Rodney James here for Cage Side Press. I'm joined by UFC Flyweight Tim Elliot. He's fighting at UFC 246 here in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena, and you know that's the one headlined by Conor McGregor, Cowboy Cerrone. That's going to be a hell of a card. How you doing, my man? Hey, listen, I appreciate you meeting with me on a Sunday evening, especially this close to the fight. I'm very blessed. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. No worries. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. So how's your fight camp going? How did this fight come together anyway? Look, I don't know a whole lot about this guy. I know he's undefeated, but looking at his resume, he hasn't fought a ton of dudes. Clearly, you have. You're a guy who has fought for the world title against arguably one of the best to ever compete in this sport, and you almost beat him. And I don't mean to, put salt on the, old wounds or bitterness by saying that. That's a compliment.
Nah, no worries.
But I'm just wondering, how does this guy get the opportunity to fight against Tim Elliot? I mean, I know the division doesn't have a lot of depth at this point, but
I actually asked for it. So the last two fights I got, Davis and Figueiredo, I knew that Cejudo wasn't going to come back down to 25. So I called out the highest ranked guy that I could. I thought that if I could beat Figueiredo, I would get an automatic title fight. Well, I lost to Figueiredo, so he's getting the title fight with Joe B. So I kind of screwed that up. Then I started looking at guys like who's my next best bet to get in there, get somebody good. This guy's 11-0. His first fight in the UFC, I thought that he lost to Brandon Moreno. They called it a draw. The guys that he's fought, they're all good record guys, like all older guys. So it should be a good stylistic fight. He's kind of boring. So that's one thing that worries me. But, I asked for this fight and I asked for the last fight. So the last fight I asked for a guy that was 19-1 and this time for a guy that's 11-0. So I want to get these good dudes that are younger and if they can't beat me, then they don't deserve to be fighting for the belts. And I'm looking on my way out. So this is my last little run. So I want to beat the best guys that I can while I'm still in.
yeah, no kidding. Yeah, well, you said a mouthful there. So, yeah, his style, I haven't seen him fight. I know he's a Dagestani, so clearly he's got that sambo, that grinding wrestling background. You're a wrestler, though, right? I assume, by your style.
Yeah, four-time All-American, national champion, and NCAA Division II.
Oh, my goodness. What? Yeah, that is a great stylistic matchup. And so, but at the same time, you're not the kind of guy that likes to come out and wrestle fuck people either. You like to come out and put on an exciting fight, and that's why we love to see you. So you asked for the fight.
Well, that's the only way to make as a flyweight. That's the only way to make any money. You got to get that bonus check.
Yeah, that's get out, bud.
Hi.
Hold on. All right, come on up here. All right, just real quick.
What's up, dude?
All right, there he is again. I guess.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
All right, bud, you got to go.
I saw you at the gym yesterday.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm trying to get him started, man. But it's he's only 4. I know. Listen, you post a lot with your girl, your baby girl, on social media. What's her name? How old is she?
Sterling. She's 4 years old. She's gonna turn 5 here coming up in March. So she'll turn 5 soon.
Wow. When I saw her in the gym the other day, I thought, man, that kid is so well behaved. Like, especially compared to mine. You see, I have to anchor him down with an iPad just to keep him from running all over the place. Man, is she just a good kid in general?
I've been pretty lucky with her, man.
Yeah.
She sleeps really good. She eats good. I've been pretty, but at the same time, and I spend a lot of time with her. So she's getting a little bit testy now to the point to where I'm the only one telling her what to do all the time. So. I feel like a little bit of schooling will do good for her.
Right. What about martial arts or wrestling or anything like that? When do you think it's an appropriate time to start that? Or are you the type of father that's even interested in pushing your – I'm a little overzealous about it, so maybe I'm jumping the gun.
It all depends on what she wants to do.
Yeah.
She sees so much fighting. I don't think it really interests her now. I would like her to do something fun for me, like golf. There's too much crying and wrestling and too much pain and suffering. So,
a lot of pain and suffering.
If she wants to do it, that's on her. But, I'm encouraged art and music and fun, peaceful stuff first.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good advice. So what's going on with this division, man? I mean, from your perspective, because, whenever Mighty Mouse left, there was a lot of drama, man. There was a lot of discussion about, and then people started getting cut, like good guys, started getting cut, and everybody was kind of like, oh, shit, Is it going to happen to me next? And it was like, what's going on with this division? And you guys are just, you and Joe B and just a handful of other cats are sort of keeping it afloat. Like you said, Cejudo doesn't seem interested in coming back.
Well, I mean, right now is honestly, it's the best time ever to be a flyweight because Cejudo's not going to come down right now unless he loses at 35, and then he might come back down. But you got Joe B. He's been in there forever. He's a true flyweight. He's getting a chance to fight for the belt. There's a lot of, like you said, they fired a bunch of guys. Well, they rehired a bunch of those guys. Now there's some like a bunch of foreigners in there. So like right now there's more noise with the flyweight division than there ever has been. So it's the best time to be a flyweight right now. So like my kind of aspirations and goals of being a UFC champ have kind of subsided a little bit until this happened with Cejudo. And, now Joe B's, my teammate and training partner, he's getting a chance to fight for the belt. So like, it's kind of lit a new fire with the division. So I feel like right now is the best time to be a flyweight ever. It
really has, man. It really has. And you guys, and I've talked to Joe B about this too, man. You guys have really just, carried that flag, just kept the hope alive. And, especially with Cejudo, staying active in anywhere but the flyweight division has kind of stagnated things. But yeah, it is sort of reinvigorated. So, but I wonder though, with Joe being your teammate, if he goes in there and he wins the title, I feel like you go in, get an impressive win over your opponent at UFC 246, puts y'all really close on a collision course. But at the same time, I know this is an individual sport, and I don't know, how does that work? I see you guys in the gym together all the time, both really good dudes. I'm sure you get along, and how does that happen?
Well, man, at this point, like it's all business, and like if Joseph Benavidez and myself get a chance to fight for a UFC world title, it'll be all positive. It just means that our little team that we have and our coaches that we have, we're doing everything right. So I feel like it would be a storybook matchup. I mean, Joe beat me in a fight early on in my UFC career. Then he coached me on The Ultimate Fighter, picked me first, coached me all the way up to win a UFC or to fight for a UFC world title. I got rehired by the UFC. And then like now we train together. I live in Vegas here with him. So like it would be perfect. Like it would mean me and him both everything right. And it means our coaches and everything did everything right. So I would look forward to that. I think that would be that's the kind of shit that they make movies about.
Yeah, because when you guys fought before, were you at Extreme Couture at that? I know he wasn't at Extreme because he just got there a couple years ago.
I was in Kansas City with James Krause in Kansas City.
Sure. Okay. Got it. Wow, man. Okay, so are you an NFL
long
fan?
Time. No, not really. I live right by the Chiefs Stadium, though.
Okay, so I wonder though. Gina's a Seahawks fan, and they got a good win today.
Yeah,
so did she drag you into that?
We actually just invested. Well, we actually invested into Raiders season tickets. So
nice.
I think we're Raiders fans now, technically.
Sure. I'm the same dude. I'm from Dallas, Texas. Okay, I'm hardcore Dallas Cowboys all the way. However, I live here now. I love it here. I plan on staying. My kids are going to be raised here, so I'm kind of with you. I'm like, I think I have to sort of adopt them because my kids, I think, they're gonna lean towards their home team. When they get old enough to realize what the hell's going on. So the other thing, when did you get here? You were in Kansas City. When did you come to? It feels like you've been here a few years.
It's been about 20, almost. Two and a half years. I was back and forth, but I've been here solid 2 years now.
Okay, wow. So you got to
right around the time I moved up here. Right around the time Wallace killed himself.
Yeah.
So like that, he was a big reason why I moved here to begin with. I moved up here to train with him and for the UFC PI, and then like after he passed, I was like, fuck this, I'm leaving. I went back to Kansas City, and it just didn't feel right. So I came back, and I've been here ever since. And me and Joe B kind of put together a little team of like misfit guys that didn't have a coach, and we've been training together ever since.
I'm glad you guys have really settled in, man, because it's the vibes inside Extreme Couture these days it's really positive. I mean, the spirit of Robert Wallace is very strong in there. I feel his presence every single day that I'm there, and I sent you an article I wrote, a while back after, he passed. And, actually that was a good segue. I wanted to talk about that because I know that was something that hit you pretty hard. You guys got close, and he is the type of guy that you can get close to really quick because he's just that type of dude. He just, once he gets to know you, he just embraces you and becomes almost like family. And he's just an amazing coach. And I know that. I mean, that
Yeah,
was
for sure.
for guys like you and a ton of guys in the gym. I don't have to name them all, but I know like you and Kevin Lee. I mean, that hit really, really hard. You know, Kevin is like, you know, he's on to another camp, it seems, at this point. And how
Yeah,
hard was that? Just to,
a lot of guys were affected by that.
yeah, how hard was it for you? Because he worked really closely with you to get back on the grind,
The
man.
shitty thing, it was easy because I know, like, you know, he was a coach, so like I would never question anything. Like when I came up here and was staying at first, I always rented Airbnbs, but then I started to stay with him the last few times, and then I flew out to Canada. He had to miss the flight out to Canada because he was cornering somebody else, and then I called him. He never made his flight in, and then I just didn't hear anything from him. My fight in Canada didn't happen. Found out that he passed away. Came back, was drinking, not taking care of myself. Got a lucky win against Mark De La Rosa. Got a bonus check. And then, you know, luckily I had Gina here help take care of me and like kind of pull me out of a bad like downward spiral. And, you know, like don't really drink anymore. Do like I just hang out with my daughter and Gina and train. That's it. So it's been good. It's been easy. You know, it sucks that he passed, but you know, I didn't question anything that he did while he was alive. So it's not right for me to question, you know, anything after he's gone. So I appreciate the time that I had with him.
Mm. Yeah, man. Well said. Well, and you know, and Gina's another person who was, you know, sharing in the misery with a lot of us, man. You know, it's a tough loss, and it really hurt. I don't know if you've had a friend, you know, take their own life before, and this is not the first time it's that I've experienced that. It's just, you know, it's like you wonder, like, man, what could I have done? But at the same time, it's like that survivor's guilt doesn't really do anything for you. And like you said, neither does the self-medicating and sinking into that depression either.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's no easy way to go about it, but you know, it's like I said, luckily I had Gina here with me, and you know, I have my daughter here full time, so life is good right now. I mean, Gina and I were in a hit and run car accident the other day. We both got whiplash, so we're suffering a little bit of like having a sore neck. And then we all got, Sterling and Gina were all sick with like terrible plague-like flu. So man, it just feels so good not to be sick finally.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Especially at the stage that you're at right now, when you're in the throes of the weight cutting and just the anxiety of the roller coaster.
It's all upon us.
No kidding, man. But you're feeling good. That's crazy, man. So you're telling me some sorry son of a bitch hit y'all, and your daughter was in the car too?
No, we just dropped her off at Casey's. She was going to see her friend. So she had just left the car, and it was just Gina and I.
Wow.
It wasn't that big a deal. We didn't think, and the guy took off, and then we're like, no big deal. And then like the cops never showed up and never found the guy, and that's just been a pain with the insurance and shit. But
yeah,
luckily I have Heather at the UFC PI giving me therapy every day, and you know, I'll be ready by the time the fight rolls around. And even if I'm not, I can fight for 15 minutes, you know, no matter what.
Yeah, right on. Yeah. If you got to carry your head into the octagon, you could beat him with 15
exactly.
minutes. Man, I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's freaking terrible, man. What a scumbag.
Everybody's safe. Nobody's hurt, so all good.
Yeah, man. Nothing but blessings. Well, you know, I'm telling you, I've seen you, like I said, several times. We've interacted, and you see, especially with Gina as at your side, you guys are such just really good people, genuinely. I feel that. I mean, I've interacted with her more than I have with you because, you know, I've known her a little bit longer, but you guys, it just seems like such a perfect power couple, and your positivity just feeds off each other, and it's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Yeah, man, it really is. And like I said, most of that's her. Like I get in the gym and I'm dragging ass, and like, but 99% of it is Gina, man. She helps pull me through all the time. She's always positive, always smiling. So like, I'm really thankful for her. And like, probably without her, I don't know if I probably would have had to pull out of this fight with the car wreck and the being sick. Like shit wasn't going good for us. And then, you know, luckily she's so positive and helpful, making dinner and cooking and cleaning. She's been a lifesaver.
So I don't know anything about making 125. I mean, I'm about 205, 207 pounds. I fought at 170 a few times. The bigger you are, I think it's a little easier to cut that water off. What does it feel like for you right now? Like, what is your process? How do you get down to 126 or 125 for championship weight?
You know, it's a struggle, but like I've been so lucky with the UFC PI. Like I don't have to do any thinking. like 2 weeks before the fight, they give me a meal plan. They tell me what to eat and when and how much of what to eat and when. And like, I literally have to do nothing. I have to drink 2 gallons of the water that they say, and I eat the food that they say when they say it. And like, if I just follow the stupid paper they give me, I make weight easy. Like, it's scary because like all the way up until it's time to weigh in, I'm not on weight.
Yeah.
And then like, bam, as soon as I hit that like weigh-in time, just, it's like magic, man. Clint and those guys up at the UFC Performance Institute, they know what they're doing. And seeing these guys like paying nutritionists and then missing weight, it doesn't make sense to me, because we have like world-renowned people up there that will do all that stuff for you, and people just don't use it. And for me, it's like, that was one of the big reasons I came out here. Like, I'm going to use that. I need that, you know, getting older, making weights, getting harder. Like, I need that. And like, those guys do it for me. Like, all the guys at the PI, like, I literally have to do nothing, just eat what they give me, and that's it.
I know it, man. That's a beautiful thing. I've heard many local fighters, especially, say exactly what you're saying. You know, taking advantage of that PI, and then you even came out here for that. Some other folks did as well, just so you had. And it's so great. I mean, it's literally 2 blocks away from Extreme Couture. So I mean, it just doesn't get any more convenient than that, you know. And then got a lot of cats who, you know, they'll come from out of town to go there, especially on a fight week. And a few of my buddies who I've watched go from the regional scene and into the UFC now. And, you know, I get the feedback like, oh my God, dude, this place is amazing. What about training? Do you train up there as well? They have great facilities to train.
I do all my strength and conditioning up there. I do all my recovery up there. I do all my physical therapy up there. Most of my doctor stuff I do up there. Yeah, I do everything up there except for my MMA training. My MMA training I do at Extreme Couture or 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu with Coach Casey. So when Wallace was here,
Casey, man, shout out to Coach Casey. Good people.
Yeah. When Wallace was here, we were doing some practices at the PI, but they don't really like that. So we kind of try to keep our team away from there a little bit. But
yeah,
you know, when it's fight week and fight camp, we can bring guys in. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, listen, I wish you the best of luck, and again, I really appreciate it. You know, this is an extra special occasion because you gave me some time on a Sunday night when you're this close to the fight. I don't know what else to say other than, hey, look, I will see you there. I'll see you in victory afterwards. And one more thing for the fans, where can we find you on social media so we can follow you and your beautiful baby girl and your beautiful girlfriend Gina and all y'all shenanigans?
So check us out on Instagram. For me, it's at awkward_MMA. And for Gina, it's at Gina Danger AK. Now, appreciate the time, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me ask you. I forgot to ask you about that handle. What is that? Awkward MMA. What's that nickname all about?
James Krause kind of gave it to me. They were trying to find something that fit, and it was grimy and a bunch of different things, and it ended up just being awkward. Like I never could set up my social media shit, so James Krause set up all my social media, and he just put it as Awkward MMA, so it just kind of stuck. So
is that a reference to your fighting style or your personality or a little bit of both? Right.
Both.
Right on.
Everything's. If you've ever tried to shake my hand, it always ends up being some kind of weird cat knuckle, I don't know.
Yeah, like when we tried to shake hands like through the cage the other day, and it was like, okay, I'm awkward too, and that's why Ryan.
Keep it weird.
Yeah, that's why Ryan's my favorite coach. I told him this, you know, I'm like, dude, Ryan, I love you, but you're awkward as fuck. That's probably why we get along.
He is fun to watch too.
Yeah. All right, my friend. Take care. We'll see you soon. All right. We'll see you. We'll see you in the octagon. All right, brother. Later.
All right, later, buddy.